Good morning, welcome to Morning Review. This is Kim Watson speaking on Tuesday, the 5th of April. Okay, looking at the euro dollar first, and yesterday on the euro we just saw pretty much an inside day. Still a pretty indecisive day there, a bit of a hanging man, and I'm just sort of looking at the trend of the wedge that's sort of forming here. We've still got the untouched weekly pivot below us, and I'm just wondering whether we'll see a sort of a rollover of this move. Of course, the more it consolidates, the more it holds up here, the more likely it is just to continue in its original direction, which was obviously the upside there. But not much of a movement yesterday at all. So, as I said, pretty much an inside day. Looking at the shorter time frames, the wedge is pretty clear. There's not a lot I can do with this till 8 o'clock-ish time. Hopefully we'll see some sort of signal from that point. And as I said, the weekly pivot's some way underneath us. We've already caught the daily pivots. And quite choppy at the moment, so I need a signal for direction as much as anything else. May get some clues, as I said, at 8 o'clock-ish time in terms of where we're going, but for now, consolidated cable, similar-ish action, but it's much more from these 4 hourlies, and what we've seen so far is heading south really, from what I can see. It's difficult when you've got a daily is doing what it's doing. I mean, it's quite range bound all in all, but bit of a retracement going on at the moment. But when you look at the hourlies, I mean, it's a straightforward sort of downward selling going on here. We've already hit the daily pivots. We're back below the weekly, the monthly pivots there, and the daily pivots at the moment. So it's erring on the bearish side now. I've drawn this trend line on, which probably shouldn't really be drawing on yet because the candle's not finished. And it may not be a very good trend line to be drawing on anyway, bearing in mind there's no other support apart from the prior low there and the current bar potentially. But we'll see how this rolls out. But a break of this sort of level post 8 o'clock would possibly give me a move back down towards that S1 area and yesterday's lows. So I'd certainly be looking for the potential of that. Any rallies? Well, the R1 yesterday's highs are not too far off the line. So again, it's not the clearest, but it's clearer, I think, slightly in the euro. But perhaps we maybe just getting a little bit oversold in some respects on this move that's come down here. We'll see. Dollar yen drifted down much cleaner, back to the previous lows there, just testing monthly S1 pivot. And looking pretty bearish at the moment. It's looking like it's just taken the prior lows out there, and it looks like it wants to continue to do so at this stage. Really needs some sort of retracements to be getting on the low side. It's not one for me today. It's already hit the daily S1, daily S2, daily S3 is not a million miles away. It's already had a decent move this morning, so it's not something I'll be looking at later. Aussie dollar, bit more clearer in terms of its move back towards its monthly pivot here. It's tried its best to get some retracement, but the news didn't really give it that much of a kicker because it's just run up, hit the daily pivot and sold off again at the moment and selling off. So already hit the daily pivot. S1 doesn't give me a great deal of scope. In terms of target-wise, perhaps a move back down towards today's lows or the S2, but we know the probability is not so great for that. Canadian dollar, let's look at the bigger time frame, and of course we've got to look at oil first. What's oil up to? And the oil price is coming off again. It's as suggested yesterday, it's heading back down towards that $35 mark. I mean, a move. Continuation in this sort of zone, that 50 for the oil price, a continuation down to the 50 MA daily 50, what might seem on the cards there, in which case we could see the Canadian dollar rally some more. Looking at it technically, the Canadian dollar, well, it's on its 4th day to the upside, pretty much still in the range of it's just broken out of yesterday's range, but yesterday was in the previous day's range. It's a bit messy in terms of what we're looking at here. Just about to run back into that 4-hourly 50, but certainly looking like we could see some further upside on this. Has got resistance above us. Already hit the daily R1 area. It's not my favourite in terms of looking for a trade in at the moment, although perhaps if it starts breaking down somewhat, we could have a run back towards that daily pivot, but at the moment it looks relatively bullish, and we could be on for Friday's highs here and maybe the R2 levels. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. News-wise today, we've already seen the Australian Reserve Bank of Australia's data coming out at 5:30. We've got at 9:30 for the UK. We've got services PMI, which may affect the pound, of course. It's quite a key number. Beyond that, trade balance, Canadian trade balance at 1:30, not a massive mover. And then we've got the services or non-manufacturing data coming out at 3 p.m. this afternoon for the US. So perhaps a bit of action around about that time as well, but it's not a biggie. So that's what we've got coming up. Let's hope that we get some good technical trading this morning. That's it for me.